Rebel Pathfinders. That's what we're opening up today. Star Wars Legion Unit Expansion. So the Rebel Pathfinders are representative of the troops that went with Jyn and Cassian to Scarif in Rogue One, which is my favorite Star Wars film. So even though I think these Pathfinders might get a bad rep, I'm excited to play them because I wanted to field a Scarif unit or a Rogue One unit as soon as I knew this game was the thing. So, since this is one of the earlier packs, we still get an assembly guide in the box. This is before they all just went to basically a QR code or a link. So you can see we get 1, 2, 3, 4 Rebel Pathfinders, and then Pow and Bistan as kind of our two heavy options here, and we will get into that. And there's dual-sided cards is the first thing that was in this pack. And we get our component list there, so I'm going to stick that right there. Our bases. Let's see, there's Pow right there with his screaming or whatever he's doing. It looks like each one of these guys is individually wrapped. Regular Pathfinder. And these are these softer plastics before everything came on a sprue. There's Bistan. He's almost entirely assembled already, which is interesting. Looks like you get his arms and then whatever that triangular thing is. Could be part of his blaster pack. And a big old gun. And then 2 other units. But let's get to the cards here. They are a Special Forces unit. They're not a core unit, which I think I'd rather them be a core unit. That would probably... They feel like stats-wise they're more in line with a core unit, at least to me. But you can see there's Special Forces right there, and we get some tokens we need there, the wounds and all that. Not the wounds. Suppression. Dodge aim. That kind of stuff. Okay. Here's the unit card. Originally cost 68, but you get 4 units here. They each have 1 health, courage of 2, surge to hit and surge to defend. Not bad. I got those A300 blasters that only give you 2 whites and then 1 black if they're in melee. Danger sense 3. This is their main thing here. You may choose not to remove your suppression tokens while defending. Roll 1 extra defense die. For each suppression token you have, roll up to 3 extra die. So this is similar to, actually it's the same thing that Cassian has. So you can see thematically they work with Cassian and Jyn, which makes a lot of sense because they're serving under them during this battle. So you can give them some extra suppression. If they're close by their commander, that courage value of 2 is not that big deal. Or not that big of a deal, so suppression wouldn't be a huge issue when it comes to panicking or anything like that. But they did just get rid of panicking, or they changed it around. Also of Dauntless. After you rally, if you are suppressed but not panicked, you may gain 1 suppression token and perform a free move. And they also have Infiltrate, which this is nice. You may deploy anywhere beyond range 3 of all enemy units. So these guys would be pretty good at getting to an objective quickly. And maybe sitting down, holding behind cover, even if they're suppressed, and just kind of being in the way. But they have the potential for a lot of upgrades, which is probably maybe why they're considered a specialist unit. But there's some flavor text on them. I'm not going to read all that right now. Let's look at what they come with. Now, this is their A300 configurable rifle, so they've got their standard there. Now this, I believe, now is free, so you basically get this upgrade for free when you have the Rebel Pathfinders. It's got 2 sides, so you can choose which side you want to start with, and then when you recover, you can flip it. Cassian has a similar thing here. So you can have them be range 1 to 4 with a white die, or range 1 to 2 with a red die, or range 1 to 3 with 2 white die. Those are your options right there. Okay, let's look at... we'll just show you this one first. So Pow, he's got 2 health. He gives you a 1 to 4 range with a red and a white. You gain Inspire 1 after you rally. Remove up to 1 suppression token from another friendly in range 1 to 2. So I guess if you had 2 of these guys, you could, take suppression off each other if you wanted to. You'll want to have at least some suppression on them for Danger Sense to be effective. And he'll be your leader during that. But your other option is Bistan. He's got 2 health, but see, he has to... you have to exhaust him to be able to use it, so you don't get his ability back until you recover. Also range 1 to 4, but you do get 1 black and 4 whites. In Impact 1, while attacking a unit that has armor, you can change a hit to a critical. And then if a vehicle droid trooper gets wounded by that, they get an ion token. So he kind of turns this into a mini anti-armor, anti-vehicle type thing, which in the film he does. I think he's the one like shooting out of that U-wing that takes down one of the AT-AT's legs with his ion gun, so that's representative of that. Let's see what else though we get upgrade-wise. This is back when your pack still had several upgrade guards. Overwatch, they can get Sentinel, which makes their standby range up to 3. Duck and Cover, which I love this card, and it works well with them. When defending against a range attack during the Apply and Dodge cover step, you can gain a suppression token, which helps activate the Danger Sense. Get a Cons Relay for non-emplacement troopers. When you would be issued an order, you may choose a friendly unit at range 1 and 2. Issue an order to the chosen unit instead. If you don't, or if you do, you cannot be issued another order during this round. We got some frag grenades. Surge to crit, range 1, red. And then environmental gear so they gain unhindered. There's difficult terrain. So really that's all there is to it. There's not a ton in this pack. Like I said, I feel like they're more in line and have the abilities of like a core unit. I wish these guys were offered as a core unit. The Rebel Troopers, the Fleet Troopers, the Rebel Bits, and these Pathfinders I feel like would be good there. I don't know if they're just up to the same speed as some of the other specialist units that the Rebels and other factions have. But nonetheless, I'm excited to play with them. If you guys run Rebel Pathfinders, tell me who you run them with. I'd assume it'd be Cassian and Jen. But I'd like to hear how you guys have experienced Rebel Pathfinders, if they've done well for you, if you've decided to just cut them out of your army entirely and never play with them. But that is a quick opening of the Rebel Pathfinders unit expansion for Star Wars Legion. So go play some games.